Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ English, your favorite UPSC platform. What if I told you that one of India's most secretive and powerful naval intelligence hubs is not near the ocean? It is not in Mumbai, neither in Vishakhapatnam, but actually it is located in the corporate heartland, Gurugram. Yes, you heard me right, and welcome to INS Aravali, India's latest secret nerve center in Gurugram, NCR, the National Capital Region. Created for surveillance, created for more cooperation within the naval units, and for better information management of about 75,000 ships that cross over the Indian Ocean region. So let's talk about what is INS Aravali and how it promotes India's internal security and maritime defense capacity. Now, INS Aravali is the latest Indian Navy commissioned hub, and it is situated in Gurugram. The name has been taken behind one of the oldest mountain ranges in India, the Mount Aravali. It is designed to promote Navy's information and communication infrastructure. And talking about the motto of the mission, it is maritime security through collaboration. Now, here, collaboration definitely means collaboration, intelligence sharing with other naval centers in India. At the same time, also collaboration with other countries of the global south. No doubt, India today is the voice of the global south. Ever since we had presided over the G20 summit back in 2023, India leads the global south discourse. And therefore, India's presence in the Indian Ocean region, India's presence in the entire South Asian area to counterbalance China's invasion is very, very important. Recently, we saw in the news how China has entered the Scarborough Shoal, a key region that's in dispute between Philippines and China, although it belongs to the exclusive economic zone of Philippines. And yet China made a natural reserve there. But this is not new for China. Whether you talk about any island of the South China area, we know that China has the habit of following its 9-dashed plan. China has the habit of following its string of pearl policy. It is about expansionist agenda. So therefore, today, one of the key focus of India's defense strategy is to expand more in the sea. We saw recently the controversy over the Great Nicobar Island. Critics oppose it, but the government says it's important because yes, India wants to share the monitoring and the patrolling of the Malacca Strait. Again, a very important gateway in the South Sea. So therefore, whether it be through the Malacca Strait or whether it be today through the inauguration of INS Aravali, yes, India is trying to work towards a stronger blue economy and more maritime defense. So the main purpose of INS Aravali then is to support a naval information and communication center, to command and control operations and maritime domain awareness, MDA. It is about a spirit of cooperation with other naval units, the MDA centers, and many other stakeholders in the sector. The emblem that you can see on your screen, a very powerful message indeed, is about safeguarding India's maritime interest through constant research, readiness, and innovation. Now, if you remember, India has a long heritage of commanding the ocean. Let's talk about how Chola Empire was one of the largest of its own kind. One key reason behind the success of the great Chola regime was their command over the sea routes, was their command over the navy. So India can learn huge lessons from its own history here. And in the same line, India is also quite focused on its Mahasagar initiative, which is about mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across seas. So earlier we had the Sagar initiative talking about 2015, but in 10 years, geopolitical realities have changed too. So therefore, today it is all about the Mahasagar mission. Now, the ceremony where the INS Aravali was commissioned was headed by Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, who is the chief of our naval staff. And talking more about the Mahasagar initiative, as I said, it is about India's strategic vision, aiming at security, trade, development cooperation across the countries of Global South. It builds upon the earlier Sagar mission, which was about security and growth for all in the ocean region. And the only thing is that from Sagar to Mahasagar, the scope has changed. The geographical limit to which India is now thinking of securing its boundaries has changed. The necessity of today's world order has changed. So, therefore, what are the key pillars behind the new INS Aravali commissioning? The first is trade for development. It aligns with the Mahasagar vision. We have to enhance economic relations with countries through technology and trading. We also know ever since President Trump imposed a 50% higher tariff on us, India has been busy looking for other trade markets, whether it's with China, whether it's with South American countries, whether it's with EU countries, or whether it be through countries like Vietnam, Philippines, Japan. Across all these initiatives, one thing is very clear. We cannot ignore the blue economy. We have to have a very strong presence in the ocean, especially the IOR region. And that's what Mahasagar is all about. Creating a better infrastructure, economic partnership, education, strengthening regional security to make sure India is the key participant in all those initiatives, whether it's Quad or whether it's IORA. Everything that India can do to make sure that China's expansion in the South China and IOR can be counterbalanced. Therefore, Mahasagar also is every bit about promoting Indian-led cooperation models in the Indian Ocean. Now, with this, India has also definitely been expanding its presence in the BRICS, the G20, the Indian Ocean Rim Association. But a bigger question is exactly what it has changed from Sagar to Mahasagar. As I said, it's about geographic scope and focus. Both were about improving India's strategic interest and security in the ocean. But talking about Sagar, it was limited to the IOR, the Indian Ocean region, but today with Mahasagar of 2025, we are looking at expanding to other nations like the Global South, including Indo-Pacific nations, Africa, Latin America. Yes, we are looking at expanding to ASEAN nations, Latin America, and the Pacific island nations. With Sagar, the key intention was to make sure that we work towards maritime security, we work at anti-piracy laws, we solve problems regarding the EEZ, protecting the exclusive economic zones of various countries, which under UNCLOS 1982, a protocol created by United Nations, it's called United Nations Convention on Laws of Sea. It's about ensuring that 200 nautical miles from the coastal baseline is an area that's called EEZ. It exclusively belongs to the country where it is situated. So a foreign country cannot come and interfere there, something that China keeps doing, and it's recently doing with Philippines because the Scarborough Shoal also is within 200 nautical miles of Philippines. So therefore, China is defying the UNCLOS here. Now talking about Sagar, if Sagar was all about Mauritius, Seychelles, Maldives, we have seen how much more geographically expansive is the Mahasagar. Mahasagar is also about further enhancing trade-driven development technology, capacity building to make us future ready for the realities of modern society, such as joint naval exercises. You might have heard about Malabar. There are many more such initiatives that India has to now work on. Given that today's agendas are newer, today we have to look at cybersecurity. We have to look at defense partnerships as well. So therefore, with changing realities comes the Mahasagar vision, and the new commissioning of INS Aravali is just another step in that direction. Very important internal security, very important India's blue economy. Now let's have a look at the question. With reference to recently commissioned INS Aravali, look at the following statements. 1. It has been created in Gurugram, Haryana to enhance India's information dominance and maritime domain awareness. Second, its motto is maritime security through collaboration. And 3, it was commissioned by the Ministry of Defense as a forward operating naval base in the Andaman and Nicobar Island. I think it's quite an easy question there, but a good way of revising all the content that we just read. Now, which of the following statements is or are valid here? You could pick out the valid answer. You could post me on the same. If you want to leave a discussion thread here, like students often do, then that's again welcome, because then we can take it on, have a nice discussion on it. And I think it's a wonderful way of keeping ourselves engaged with current affairs, of just discussing, and then we remember things better. So if you like these short, crisp and educative current affairs videos, then do not forget to like, share, and subscribe us at StudyIQ English. Should you want me to take up a specific topic of your choice, then do let me know in the comment box. Thank you so much.